All right, there's high. You can hear the roar. Look at the flames coming out around the edge here. I can already tell you, I never once seen that whenever I was doing it with natural airflow. All right, so welcome back everybody. I had an idea a while back, long before I built my 6-inch rocket stove. It works beautiful with the grill attachment, but when we're putting the other attachments on and heating up large pots and pans, especially pots full of water, what if we figured out how to turbocharge this thing with this? So I've been playing around with this idea for years. Let's figure out how to put a fan on here and force induct air into this, and let's see if we can get the ultimate fan-powered rocket stove shooting a big flame out of this thing. Well, it works. I should have emptied the ashtray before attempting this. All right, so let's show this off. I'm actually very pleased with the way this turned out. So I purchased this blower fan off of Amazon because it works off of your typical USB port. And I have these little battery banks here. I figured this will run the fan for a long time. These are the same battery banks that I run my thermal scopes with. So I built me a little port to put it in. I'll probably clean these wires up a little later as I play around with this, but I bought one. I really wanted a variable speed. This one comes with a low, medium, and high setting right here. You can see I'm going through the adjustments. Pretty big difference between low, medium, and high. We can cut it off. This should really force the air in there, which is going underneath where the burn chamber is right here, where I'm going to have wood and a coal bed in there. And we should really exit the flames out here. But we're about to test that. We're going to get a little coal bed started in there. Open this up. You can see the little handle design I did right here with a little tab that you can bend to hold this closed. By the way, this is all easily removable, and I can put my standard damper door right back on for my normal cooking. This still gives me full access to my ash pan and to my grate right here. And you see I have some fire starters in here right now. So we're about to light those up, start this little coal bed in here, and then we're gonna fill this full of a lot of oak, cherry, whatever else we have right here that's dry. We're gonna look at the flame with the fan off and then kick the fan on immediately and see if we see any difference. I hope that we do. Let's get started. Let's put some of these slivers of oak, and I got a little pallet wood in there too since we're not cooking nothing today. And since we're looking for a roaring flame, we'll probably go ahead and drop some pieces down in here. And I think I'm gonna go grab a very large pot right here, fill it full of water, because I've already did this test before and it took about 25 to 30 minutes for me to get a full rolling bowl on that pot right there. Holds a tremendous amount of water. And that was with no fan. And then we're going to time it with the fan today and just keep pumping the wood to it and see if we can boil any quicker. The reason I am wanting a turbo force fan right here is for pots just like that. It's about to be crabbing season. We do crabbing and other stuff, and I need this to be powerful enough to keep a tremendous amount of water and food at a rolling boil. All right, so we're still building our coal bed. Here it is with natural airflow. The more pieces I put in there, the higher I can get the flame, but you can see it's starting to build where it's coming up above this pan grate right here. So let's close this up, kick the fan on, and see what we look like. All right, there's high. I can definitely see ash kicking out of there. You can hear the roar. And now the flames are quickly coming up and above the grate. No doubt we're getting much harder burn, more flame with that fan right there. Awesome. Look at that. Listen to that. All right, so now the big test. I have a pot of water over here that we're gonna put on top of this, start a timer, and we're just gonna keep feeding this wood and see how long it takes to boil this similar pot of water that I timed in one of the last videos that took around 25 to 30 minutes. Got a little bit of a breeze coming from this way, so I think I'm gonna put my wind shroud on. You'll see that here in just a second. Let's put the lid on and try to repeat what we did in the last test. All right, we're only like a minute into this test. Look at the flames coming out around the edge here. I can already tell you, I never once seen that whenever I was doing it with natural airflow. So as expected, the fan is really rolling the flames here. All right, here's my little wind deflector slash heat shroud. Put it on right here, drop it down. We also used this in the last test, last time that we timed the water boil. All right, so it appears we are there. I'm seeing steam coming out of this everywhere, so we must be boiling. Yes, we are. Definitely starting the boiling process. Now here's the thing, we're currently at 27 minutes. So let's discuss that real quick. Another discussion Something I didn't realize was going to happen with this fan blowing air back in there. I'm seeing it's blowing some coals back into here that are building up in the ash pan. As a result, this started getting a bit warm, but you can see I can hold my hand on it. So I just pulled the battery out and set it here. It's not hot enough to melt the fan or anything like that, but I just did not want a battery heating up in there. So we'll just use this as a carrying tray. And if we're gonna do a long burn like this, we'll pull it out, put it right here so it stays cool. We'll put it back in there for storage once we remove this door. All right, so as y'all can see, full rolling boil right now. Way too many variables to call this test today. I can clearly see we're jetting a much bigger flame with the fan as expected. It just sounds like more of a rocket. It's 100% burning a hotter flame. Now today is very, very windy, burning different type of wood that is nowhere near as dry as what all I burnt in the last test. And I went back and looked at the last video where I'd run the test. I definitely put more water in the pot today, yet I'm still around the same time, maybe a couple minutes quicker. No doubt this is burning a much hotter flame. You can visually see with the fan off and damper open, the flame, fan on, damper close, you're just jetting much more of a flame right there. So this is gonna allow me to burn hotter and burn more consistent. We're not waiting on wind to pick up and everything else going on here. We're always gonna get the same consistent airflow in, and I can tell I'm burning through wood far quicker today than I did the other day. Now that means it's less efficient as far as wood goes, but that means it's burning hotter and more of a flame, which is what we want on big pots and pans like this. Whenever we're running our little grill and other attachments, I could care less. I literally use 3, 4, 5 pieces this size, and I can cook, like say, pork chops, pork steaks, or a couple steaks. It's extremely efficient that way. When you're jetting the flame as hot as you can get it because you're boiling gallons of water, you're gonna sit here and do an hour-long low country boil, maybe multiple ones of them. I don't care at that point. I'm gonna keep feeding it the fuel, fan on high, and getting as big of a flame as I can, because this is the most demanding thing that I have, trying to keep that much water at a rolling boil. Now, the one other thing worth noting, it makes a mess, but it's extremely windy today. It's just blowing everything back on the porch. Like I said, the future home of this rocket stove is out there in the yard, so that's not really gonna matter to me at all. Overall, quick, easy build. I love this extra addition to the rocket stove. This is always gonna get used when I'm running that big pot right there, or maybe doing some heavy duty frying. I think it's an excellent addition, and I can clearly visually see and hear that we're getting much more flame with the forced air right here. All right, hopefully y'all enjoyed this little build. I have a lot more accessories for this coming, as well as we're gonna build some new cooking appliances soon. Y'all take care.